Hello, this is Not Haysoos, but we are here with One Piece, Chapter 1023, Spitting Image. We're reviewing it, and we're just going over the what has happened in this chapter. It is a really good chapter, I must say. It clears up a lot of things, kinda. Anywho, here we go. Reader, this is the cover image. Reader request. Vivi singing with sparrows while Karu looks on with jealousy. So we have Vivi on a tree branch surrounded by a bunch of sparrows on her arms. And then there's Karu being jealous down below. It's quite lovely. I hope we see Vivi again in the future. Hopefully. So we cut back to the fight, and there's a bunch of smoke, and there's Zoro and Sanji standing. Zoro's back. Get him, Sangoro. It really did heal him. We have Chopper saying this, and then the doctor who suggested the thing. He's a mink. He says, "I'm worried about what happens later." King and Queen. So we get an image of King and Queen lying down. We see their faces. King looks unamused and unmoved, while Queen looks like he's gritting his teeth. Honestly, we don't know what King's facial expressions will be like. So we get this guy trying to snipe Zoro. They attacked our lead performer, and then we see Kawamatsu slicing up the guy with the gun trying to shoot Zoro. And then we have Hyogoro saying, "Good idea, Kawamatsu. Hey, Yakuza bosses, don't attempt to help him. Don't attempt to help out in this duel. But boss, those are the lead performers. No one should approach this fight, friend or foe. See that look on their faces? They don't want any interruptions." We see Sanji and Zoro with motivation in their eyes. "What do you mean?" Atop of the red line is Mary Joa. So we get Marco daydreaming while this is going on, and we hear Whitebeard talking in his reconciliation, basically what his memory. "I'm talking long before that. From what I hear, there used to be land of the gods up there." Talking about above red line, because we don't know what King is. We don't know if he's a mink, a human, or a fishman. "You're not talking like the pops I know." And we have Izo trying to snap Marco out of it. Wake up, we're in the middle of a battle." And then Marco's like, "Just waiting for you to save me." And then Izo's Marco and Izo are bantering back and forth. "Don't be an idiot. Izo, do you believe in gods?" And then Izo's like, "When did you turn into Pops when he's drunk?" So Marco thinks the king's a god. Interesting. We have Queen speaking here. "Yo, boys. Hope you didn't think you stand a chance against us. We didn't even feel that. Drought, plague, wildfire. We're the three calamities that protect Kaido." And so we have Queen shooting off a bunch of lasers at Sanji and Zoro. "And we're the lead performers because nobody gets the better of us." And Zoro asks Sanji, "What's up with you?" And then Sanji's like, "I don't know. Ever since since the second time I put that raid suit on, my body felt a little off." "You better not drag me down on this one," Zoro says to Sanji. "I didn't say it felt bad, just weird. So I guess Sanji might prefer the raid suit on. That's what he might be like. Maybe it makes him feel lighter. And Zoro says, "What? Your eyebrow?" And then Sanji retorts back, "With my body, you idiot." Zoro Sanji retorts. We have King pulling out his sword, and then trying to strike at Sanji, and Zoro cuts in and says, "There, you owed me one." He blocks King's attack with his swords. And then we have Queen using his hair, it seems, to try and grab Zoro. But then Sanji is like, "Now we're even." Sanji blocked that attack with his kick while his leg was on fire. And then Queen goes, "Mwahaha, hey, Judge's son, I hear all of you kids are cyborgs." Which, ironically, Sanji is not a cyborg. He's a certified madman. Is that burning leg of yours a machine part? And then Sanji's like, "Sorry, pal, I'm all human. Does a human burn like that now?" And then Queen says, "Does a human burn like that? I know you ain't a Lunarian. Is that something that King is? A Lunarian? Because then we get a cut of King looking like glaring, right? And he has the ... So I wonder if that's where the Germa scientists got the like human body powers. Like, we thought it was from the devil fruits, like the theory of that they're like artificially made with devil fruits or something. So this totally spins everything around, that they could be part of DNA of whatever King is. A Lunarian? I do. The heat of passion surpasses the temperature of flame. So his flames come from his passion. Good. And I'm good at cooking up sea beasts. Dinosaur, he does a spiral flame attack with his legs. And then we have Queen saying, "Let me show you the power of a cyborg even Vegapunk can't create, kid." And then we have Zoro going back to his fight with King. "Hey, Mummy in Black, don't get distracted." Because obviously the conversation Sanji and Queen were having distracted him. Oh, and his sword has the sword breaker thing where... Oh, okay. Oh, dang. I didn't realize that when I was reading it the first time. So sword breaker is like where a sword has like those teeth, and so he got Zoro's sword stuck in it and then lifted it, and they came out of Zoro's hands, and then King goes in for the punch, but because Zoro has his, well, three sword style, the sword that he blocks the sword with the one in his mouth. "I see, a killer machine, huh? Do you need a school or a style in order to fight?" King says that. In order to fight with a sword. And then Zoro is like, "Nope, good point. And you never called yourself a swordman. Do as you like." He gets his swords back. "Who knows, by the end of this, I might be tearing your throat out with my teeth. Anything to ensure I win this fight." And we see King glaring again with the ... dots. Like, we don't know what his facial reaction is other than we see his eyes. And we cut back to Kawamatsu, and he's like, "Boss, Horigoro. When Lady Hiyori told me she was going to give that man Enma, there was a reason I could not bring myself to stop her." He's talking about Hiyori giving Zoro Enma. And here Goro is like, yes, I understand. He is a pirate from across the sea, and yet, strangely enough, he's the spitting image of Shimosuke Ushimaru, daimyo of Ringo in his youth. So maybe Zoro is maybe Zoro's a lost long cousin. Precisely, even his style with the sword is the same. Lord Ushimaru was a descendant of Shimonosuke Ryoma, the god of the blade. So, Zoro might be an ancestor of Ryoma, the one where he had Shusui. And the fact that he returned Shusui to Wano, and I cannot help but feel that fate is at work. Especially when you consider that Ryoma was also a one-eyed samurai. Damn, dun dun dun. Makes you think, huh? How did Zoro lose his eye? I wonder if that's a part. I wonder if that will be found out later or whatnot. Zoro wasn't always one-eyed. Would he consider himself a samurai? That's what I want to know. What went with the training over those years with, what's his name? The greatest swordsmaster, whatever. Mihawk. What training did Zoro endure? What happened to his eye? We'll never know yet. Unfortunately, we cut away from those awesome fights to, treasure room, second floor. Quick! Help Jack. Don't let them get past. So we see Jack stomping around in his mammoth form. I know you can't go on longer. Sleep, king of the day. I forgive your country for going into a ruin to uphold the lie about the samurai. I'm butchering these names, man. The dog guy. Inu Arashi. If we handed over Raizo to die, we would be so ashamed. And then we see Inu Arashi. I believe that's how I will pronounce it. Forgive me, viewers. But we see him grab Jack's snout, his mammoth trunk. We would never have come back to Wano. Every single day since the death of Lord Odin was another day closer to this moment of reckoning. So we see him throw Jack, and it just seems like Jack is literally just upside down, and he's like, oh, I'm being thrown. Okay. I swear to God now. I swear to God I know no Raizo. If such a man is here, I will cut my belly. And so we get a flashback of what happened during Zo arc, where Jack literally was brutaling everyone, and he cuts off the guy's leg. I mean, Inuyarashi. For 20 years I asked myself, are you still a samurai of Lord Odin? How? How did you turn into Sulong? A hole in the roof? Ashura. Oh, so the explosion of... Okay, so that's Ashura's body right there when Jack was being thrown. So we see Inuyarashi turn into Sulong, and Jack's like, how? And then there's a hole in the roof where Ashura exploded. And so we have Inuyarashi full Sulong. We would let a city of 1,000 years fall to ensure we reached this decisive battle. By winning this fight, whatever the cost, the dawn will come to the world. So here they're saying dawn will come again. Obviously, it's very symbolic. So, front entrance, Skull Dome. If not for Pedro, Luffy's gang never would have got this far. Carrot saying It's Cat Viper. So Cat Viper's fighting Pedro at this moment. A beautiful full moon tonight. I hope you're watching, Pedro. Have a drink if you got one. Parasparrow says, Sulong? But Parasparrow says, Sulong, but you licked spittles. This is the last moon you'll ever see. So he thinks, so Parasparrow versus Cat Viper. Let's see how that goes. Castle, second floor. We have the ninjas fighting off. Haha. What a joke. Your ghosts are. With Odin dead, you are reduced to following a child. Don't mock youth, you fool, Ryza says. We were no one before he raised us into samurai. You see, everyone grows in life, and Wano itself will watch over Lord Momonosuke's growth. We won't let the likes of you steal it. Tokage Port. What? What's he doing? It's Kaido! Do we have to fight him right now? So we see a bunch of Law's men pulling up a bunch of weapons, thinking they see Kaido. When, doo-doo, it's actually. So we get, look out, Straw Hat, get away from him. We see a dragon form just like Kaido, like huge. And Straw Hat's like, flashback. I'm not your morsel of food. I will devour you whole before you take a bite of me. Step back. And then we have Straw Hat saying, is that you, Momo? And then the dragon replies, indeed. I wonder how he will look. But we can already assume how he will look like in human. Because we have this part. This is the last part of the chapter. So good. What's the same... What? That's the same kid? What does that mean? By Lord Momonosuke's request, he is now age 28. You can do that? Why are you crying? So we have Shinobu crying. Because, my lord, you look just like... So it cuts off. But I believe she's saying Momonosuke at age 28 looks exactly like Lord Odin. Come on, Momo. Let's go take back Wano. Right. And then chapter ends. And then to be continued, and we'll probably have a chapter next week. So, it'll be interesting how this will cue into the fight. Like, considering how much... Like, that's a huge dragon. Like, at 8. It was such a small dragon. So, I guess Momo will be a really big pink dragon, while Kaido's like that blue. So it'll be definitely interesting how that plays into the fight. I still wonder what kind of race King is. A lot of unanswered questions, as usual. Well, I mean, this is One Piece we're talking about. But it's a really good chapter, and thank you for tuning in if you still are. And keep on adventuring.